When we did Roseanne's scenario, we talked about, as a training point, having more than one gun around the house, perhaps even having guns staged for ease of access, especially since she lived alone in that scenario. So for her scenario, we set the gun on the nightstand. We had it covered up in a little bit of a folder right there. So as she was sitting there, she didn't really need to get out of her chair to react to the bad guy coming through the door. So another training point is, do I really need to be standing in a shooting stance to fire this gun? Well, there was a couple things that made it easy for Roseanne. One is, she was shooting a gun that was easy for her to manipulate and use. The second is, she had a laser on it, so even in an awkward position, she could just put the laser on the target and work the trigger and get substantial hits. So I've got my gun set up here. I'm gonna load it, and we're gonna work through this scenario live fire. And I've got my laser turned on, got a green crimson trace there. So I've got it set on my end table, and my thread is over here. So I'm gonna have to pick this gun up and come cross body. Now I could press myself into a two-handed grip and maybe get two-hand sighted fire, but it's really unnecessary at this point. This target materializes very quick. I pick up the gun, I turn, I put green laser, and I shoot right from the seated. Great hits, really easy. I didn't have to fight for the sights. I didn't have to get up and stand. I'll do that one more time. I'm sitting here, I hear the commotion. Oh my gosh, somebody's coming through the door. I pick up the gun. Green laser. I don't even need to think about using the sights at this point in this close distance when I have that laser. And being in a seated position is really very stable. Recoil management's not an issue. So next time you get a chance to go out to a range or work with a trainer, think about running this drill.
It's been almost 1 year since I've done first-person Defender, and since then, my husband and I have actually done some additional trainings and taking some courses just to better ourselves in our firearms proficiency, but just to better understand what it is we should be doing in our homes and that we've got the right gear and that we know how to use it. After I did my scenario, I probably couldn't stop thinking about it for a couple days, and I replayed it multiple times in my head. What would I have done differently, the same? What did I feel good about? And ultimately I was happy, but more so it was just eye-opening and definitely on your mind about how quickly something could really turn into something bad. It feels, when you're in the scenario, it does feel very real. You're, well, it's hot, so your senses are already a little bit out of sorts, but you don't know what's going to happen. It's that part is very, very real and intensifies the situation, and it makes you realize how quickly things can change. At home, when I'm there, I'm thinking, are my doors locked? Am I aware of my surroundings? Who's driving through our neighborhood? Do I recognize them? And the awareness piece alone is huge. And you know, we've got an almost 2-year-old now and another baby on the way. So being mindful of just not only my surroundings, but their surroundings is a big deal. So the awareness is key, but also just making sure that our home is protected and that we're prepared for anything that comes our way. Is anyone there?